Attention passionate Detroit, Lions fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Detroit Lions' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Detroit Lions fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Detroit LIONS fans. Let's get to the news. Now, folks, if you've been following the NFL this season, you know that the landscape in the NFC North is heating up in a way that no one really expected just a few months ago. And for the Detroit Lions, this isn't just about holding their ground. It's about potentially transforming their entire defense and, consequently, their chances at making a deep playoff run. And all of this is centered around a very intriguing trade rumor that's been swirling around, involving none other than Max Crosby, the elite pass rusher from the Las Vegas Raiders. That's right, the Raiders, currently sitting at 2-5 with one of the league's poorest defenses, are reportedly considering trading Crosby, and the Lions are very much in the mix, eyeing him as a key piece to bolster their pass rush. Let's take a step back and look at the context. The Raiders, with just 5 wins since the start of the season, have been struggling on multiple fronts. Their defense, in particular, has been a disaster, ranking 28th in points allowed per game, allowing almost 27 points on average. Their secondary is battling cap issues, with around $18 million in available space, which complicates their ability to rebuild through free agency. Their run defense is also a concern, ranking 29th, and their pass rush, which should be a strength, is underperforming. They're also dealing with injuries and inconsistent play at the quarterback position, especially with Minshew's recent slump, which has seen the team fall into a bit of a rebuild mode. They are prioritizing cap flexibility, setting their sights on the 2026 draft, and reportedly eyeing a rebuild that could involve trading established stars for future assets. Now, why would the Lions, a team with a strong 5-2 record, be interested in Crosby? Well, the Lions' defense has been quietly improving, and they've shown they can be a dominant force when they execute well. Their pass rush has been solid but not yet elite, ranking around the middle of the league in sacks per game. But with players like Aiden Hutchinson, who has already proven to be a Pro Bowler and an All-Pro caliber edge rusher, the Lions see a real opportunity to elevate their defense into one of the league's best. Hutchinson, who was the second overall pick in the 2022 draft, has been a cornerstone of Detroit's front seven. His 8 sacks so far this season, along with a 23% win rate on his pass rushes, show that he's a relentless force. But adding someone like Crosby, who has been a Pro Bowler from 2021 to 2024, with a career total of 72 sacks and an impressive ability to generate pressure, could be the game changer. Crosby's production, including 10 sacks in 2025, 28 pressures, and a 27% win rate, makes him one of the top pass rushers in the league. His ability to generate sacks and pressures consistently could allow the Lions to double their pass rush potential, especially when combined with Hutchinson and the emerging talent of player like Davenport, who has been contributing with 3-5 sacks this year. What makes Crosby such a perfect target for Detroit? Well, for starters, his stamina is remarkable. He's been able to play at a high level for 95% of snaps, a trait that's comparable to some of the best in the league like Watt. He's healthy after recovering from an ankle injury in 2024, and in 2025, his performance has been outstanding, with a PFF grade of 93, 8 against the Chiefs, showcasing his elite pass rushing ability. The Lions are eyeing him not just as a short-term fix, but as a foundational piece for their defense moving forward. His projected stats point to a potential 19 or more sacks this season, which would be well above the league average. That kind of production could push Detroit into the top tier of defenses, allowing them to dominate games and give their offense more breathing room to operate. And speaking of the offense, Jared Goff has been playing solid football, throwing for over 100 yards and 14 touchdowns. But with a defense that can consistently pressure the quarterback and force turnovers, which the Lions are generating at a rate of about 1.8 turnovers per game, their chances of winning become even more formidable. The addition of Crosby would not only elevate their pass rush, but also serve as a psychological boost for the entire team. Opposing quarterbacks would have to think twice before dropping back, knowing Crosby and Hutchinson could be coming at them relentlessly. The Lions, front seven, already strong with Anzalone earning a solid PFF grade of 86. 4 would become almost impenetrable, especially against teams with explosive offenses like the Vikings, led by Jordan Love, who has already thrown for over 200 yards and 15 touchdowns. Now, what's really interesting is how this potential trade could reshape the odds of the Lions winning the Super Bowl. Currently, Detroit is considered a bit of a long shot, with odds around plus 6-0. But if they manage to land Crosby, that number could drop significantly, perhaps to plus 500, as they would become a much more complete team, especially on defense. Imagine a Lions team with Hutchinson, Crosby, and Davenport all firing on all cylinders, creating constant pressure and forcing turnovers. That kind of dominance would make them a nightmare for any opponent in the playoffs. Crosby's impact, especially in clutch moments, could be reminiscent of the legendary Miller's performance in Super Bowl 50, where his relentless pressure helped the Broncos dismantle the Packers in the snow. His presence could be the X factor that propels Detroit deep into the postseason, potentially transforming them into a true contender. And let's not forget, this move could also have a ripple effect on the entire NFC North. The Packers, Vikings, and Bears are all trying to find their identity, but a dominant Detroit defense with Crosby in the fold might push them into a new gear, forcing their rivals to adapt or fall behind. The NFC North has always been a competitive division, but with the Lions poised to make a serious push, especially with the defensive upgrades, we could see a shift in power that lasts for years. The Lions' front seven, with Hutchinson, Davenport, and potentially Crosby, would be similar to some of the most formidable defenses in recent NFL history, like the Eagles' front in 2024 led by Reddick and company. The Lions could be building a dynasty on the defensive side of the ball, and Crosby might just be the catalyst they need. Now, it's important to consider the details of the trade. The Raiders, facing cap issues and a rebuild, are looking to free up around $27 million in cap space by moving Crosby. With Crosby's contract and the Lions' cap flexibility, a deal could be crafted that benefits both teams. For Detroit, acquiring Crosby would be a statement move, showing their commitment to winning now and building a defense that can carry them through the playoffs. For the Raiders, it's about acquiring future assets and clearing cap space to rebuild their roster around young players and draft picks. It's a win-win scenario, but the question remains. Will the Raiders pull the trigger before the trade deadline on November 4th? That's the big question everyone's asking, and it's a storyline that's going to dominate NFL conversations in the coming weeks. As we look ahead, it's clear that this potential trade isn't just about adding a star pass rusher. It's about redefining what the Lions can accomplish this season and beyond. With Crosby in the fold, the Lions' defense could become one of the league's most feared units, capable of shutting down even the most potent offenses. The chemistry between Hutchinson and Crosby, two of the league's most talented and relentless edge rushers, could be the key to unlocking even more success. The Lions' coaching staff, led by Dan Campbell, would have a new toy to scheme around, creating blitz packages that leave quarterbacks with no options and forcing them into hurried throws or turnovers. And finally, as a fan of this team, I can't help but be excited about the possibilities. The Lions have been building steadily over the past few seasons, and now they're on the brink of something special. The addition of Crosby could be the missing piece that takes them from playoff hopefuls to championship contenders. The NFC is stacked, no doubt about it, with teams like the Eagles, 49ers, and Cowboys all vying for the top spot, but Detroit has the talent, the coaching, and now, potentially, the star power to make a real statement. If they manage to close this deal, it could be a turning point not just for this season, but for the future of Lions football. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YOUTUBE algorithm to keep recommending the latest Detroit Lions news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. So folks, the question is, will this trade happen? Will Crosby be donning the Honolulu blue and silver soon? Well, all signs point to yes, but we'll have to wait until November 4th to see if the Raiders pull the trigger. Whatever happens, one thing is clear. If Crosby joins Detroit, the entire NFL landscape will change. The Lions could be setting themselves up for a dynasty, especially on defense, and we'll be here every step of the way to bring you all the updates and analysis. Imagine a Lions team with Crosby, Hutchinson, and Davenport all rushing the passer, creating chaos in the backfield, forcing turnovers, and giving Goff the protection he needs to lead drives that could end in Super Bowl glory. That's the kind of future Lions fans can dream about right now. Crosby's addition could elevate the team's chances from good to great, from playoff contenders to true Super Bowl favorites. It's not just wishful thinking. It's a real possibility that could reshape the NFC North and the entire NFC playoff picture. And as we wrap up, let me remind everyone to stay tuned, stay engaged, and keep supporting this team. The Lions are on the cusp of something special, and with a little bit of luck and some smart moves like acquiring Crosby, they might just make history. So hang tight, Lions fans, because the best is yet to come. Remember to comment below your thoughts on this potential trade, who you think will win, and how you see the Lions' future unfolding. Your opinions are what make this community so great. And don't forget, I'll be back very soon with more updates, analysis, and all the latest news on the Detroit Lions. Until then, keep the faith, keep cheering, and let's go Lions.